Hello, welcome to Q Life.
Hello, this is Chris speaking.
Hi, Chris. How are you going?
I'm going pretty good. How are you going?
I'm well, thanks. What's brought you to giving us a call today, Chris?
I have a question about my trans rights.
Okay.
I'm wondering, do I have a trans right to go into the females' change room after I've been swimming?
After you've been swimming?
Yeah, because, I'm actually born a male with a penis, but I go swimming and then sometimes I want to go into the females' change room.
Oh, okay. Do you identify as female, Chris?
Well, normally I identify as a man, and like I have a bit of a beard and I wear male's clothing and such. But have you heard of aquagender?
I haven't heard of aquagender. Can you tell me more about that?
Aquagender's like it's a type of gender fluidity when it's related to the water. When the fluidity of the water reminds some people of the fluidity of gender, and that's what I have. So normally I identify as a man, but sometimes after I go swimming, the water makes me feel like a woman, so then I identify as a female.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard of that before, but you might run into some trouble with people not understanding, and particularly if you're generally presenting more masculine, if you're going into a female change room.
Well, there are some transphobes who say that I shouldn't be in there.
It's probably a lot of people.
You're not one of those transphobes, are you?
No, a lot of people would have different opinions about it, I would say.
But you're not one of the You're not one of the transphobes, are you? You support my right to go in there?
I'm not a transphobe, I'm not. I'm just telling you that other people who are seeing you go in there might not agree, and you could get in trouble from different people. I'm not sure on the letters of the law in specific change rooms.
But you support my right to go in there, don't you?
Your right to go into the female change room?
Yeah.
It's not up to me to have a specific opinion on the matter.
Well, if you don't support my right, well, then you're a transphobe.
Oh, okay.
How can transphobes be working at Q Life?
And so you feel like it would be transphobic to have a different opinion to yours on this matter?
Well, if you identify as a woman, you're a woman, aren't you?
Yes, that's true.
Well, when I identify as a woman, then I'm a woman, aren't I?
That's true.
So if I'm a woman, then I should be able to go into the females' change room, shouldn't I?
That's true, but I also said that there's other things as well. You know, as much as you're allowed to go in there, other people might try to stop you, which isn't going to be helpful for you, is it?
Well, I know that there are transphobes who want to stop me because I went on the internet and I was on a message board and I asked, and people were saying that I was a pedophile. How crazy is that?
A pedophile? Why were they saying that?
Well, they're saying that going into the female's change room as a man and exposing your penis in front of the little girls that are in there, they're saying that that's pedophilia. I mean, it would be pedophilia if I was a male, but I'm not a male at that time. That's when I identify as a female, so that's not pedophilia, is it?
Okay. So what were you hoping to get from giving us a call today, Chris, to find out kind of your rights?
Well, I was hoping to find out about my rights and just to get support, really, just to know that there's people out there who aren't going to call me a paedophile for going in there. To know that there's people who who respect my identity as a woman when I feel like one.
Yeah. That's fair enough. It's hard to know specifically, rights-wise, definitely when it comes down to laws and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's a hard one for you, Chris. Have you been, do you often go swimming?
Oh, I go swimming sometimes, yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
About once a month. I really just need to know that there's people who support me, because I'm sick of people saying that I'm a pedophile. Like, there's obviously a big difference, isn't there, between a man who identifies as a man going, like, if I identified as a male, that would be paedophilia. It wouldn't it? They've got a point there, but they don't understand that I identify as a female, so that changes everything, doesn't it?
I think pedophilia isn't specific to gender. I think if you're exposing yourself or sexual activity to a child, that counts as pedophilia regardless of your gender. So being careful about exposing yourself around children in general is a pretty good idea.
Well, I mean, I'm not exposing myself to the children. It's the change room. I mean, when I go in the change room, I do get naked, and my penis is out, and I have a shower, and I'm naked, so people could see it, but they just have to learn to deal with it, really, because I'm a female. There's a difference between a male's penis and a female's penis, isn't there?
Okay. Oh, it's a tough spot to be in when you're going into those places, because people are not seeing you the same way that you see yourself.
Oh, I know there's lots of transphobes still, but you see me the way I see myself, don't you?
That you're someone who has fluid gender, yeah, for sure.
And you support my right to use the female's change room, don't you? When my gender's male, I should go in the males. But when it's female, I should go in the female, shouldn't I?
And I'm not in a position to give you permission in any way.
I'm not saying, I'm not asking for permission. I know that you can't make the laws and that you can't fix all the transphobes. I mean, that's a big problem that we've all got to do our part to sort out. I know you can't do that by yourself, but you support me, don't you? Like, if you were running the swimming pool and making the laws, you would make laws and policies that would protect me and my right to go in there, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know much about any of that type of stuff, really. I just know about identity, and I know that it's hard when other people aren't understanding your identity.
But you agree that trans women can use the women's change room, don't you?
I agree that people should be able to affirm their gender, and trans women should be able to use change rooms. However, you've got to put in protections for yourself as well when people aren't understanding it.
I understand that I've got to be wary of all the transphobes, but you do support my rights. You would, if it was a vote, if people were voting and saying, "Can I go in the females' change room?" you would vote yes, wouldn't you?
It sounds like it's really important for me to answer that question. What is it about that makes it so important for you?
Because there's lots of transphobes who are saying that I can't, and I need to know that people support me.
Okay. And how could people support you?
Well, just by being there for me and agreeing and disagreeing with the transphobes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're disagreeing with the transphobes or not. Sometimes it sounds like you respect me as a real woman, and other times it sounds like you're saying that I'm different from a real woman. I mean, I'm a man at the moment, but sometimes I'm a woman, and when I'm a woman, aren't I? Really?
Yeah, when you're a woman, yes.
And I should be treated no differently than any other woman when I'm a woman, should I?
Are you still there?
I am there. I said I said when I am a woman, I should be treated the same as every other woman, shouldn't I?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's very, very hard. Very hard for women who aren't being treated the way that they should be treated.
I know. So you do agree that when I'm a woman, I am a real woman, no different from the other women, and that I have all the same rights as other women do, including the right to go into the women's change room, don't you?
And I've told you that I can't give those specific answers because that sounds like it's permission giving, and it's not up to me as a peer supporter to give permission for you. I support you to affirm your gender and to live your gender the way that it presents, which for you is quite fluid.
But you're giving really mixed messages here. You're saying that you're first saying that I'm a real woman when I identify as a woman. Do you say that still?
Because I feel like you're fixating on this, and I'm not sure how helpful this is for you.
Because it's very important to my gender. When they say that I can't go into the women's change rooms, that means that I'm not a real woman, doesn't it?
Is that what it means?
Well, they are the change rooms for women. I am a real woman, so I should be able to go into the women's change rooms. And when they say I can't go in there, then it's saying that I'm not a real woman, and it's transphobic.
Okay.
Well, which side? Are you on my side or on the transphobe side?
Chris, I feel like you're just really trying to needle answers out of me, and I just don't know how helpful it is. And, working here at QI, we're all part of the LGBTQI plus community. So we're not here to side with transphobes. We're not here to do that. We're here to be, someone for you to talk to.
Well, what is a transphobe according to you? What's a transphobe?
What's a transphobe according to you?
It's somebody who doesn't treat a trans person like they are the gender that they say they are. Like if a person who was born a woman identifies as a man, and people say you're not a man, you're a woman, that is transphobia, isn't it?
So transphobia to me is negative attitudes and beliefs, prejudice against transgender people, fear and misunderstanding.
Well, that's all those things towards me. They fear me and they don't understand me and they have prejudice against me. And that's why they're saying that I shouldn't be allowed in the females' change rooms. We need to get the people who say I can't go in the females' change rooms, that is transphobic, isn't it?
Because of the fear and that stuff?
Yeah.
Fear and the negative attitudes and beliefs. Yeah, it's transphobic to not allow a woman in the women's change rooms.
Even if that woman is a gender fluid woman who's a man sometimes, it's still transphobia, isn't it?
There is still transphobic elements to it, yes. There's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to this stuff.
And it's also transphobic, or it's just sexist, really, isn't it, to say that women have to dress a certain way. That's very sexist, isn't it? Because that affects all women when they say that, that I'm not a woman because I have a little bit of a beard. That's just sexism, isn't it?
Okay. No, you make a very good point.
Well, all women have the right to present however they like to present, and, I'm not the only woman out there doesn't match the patriarchal sexist stereotype. There's lots of women who don't want to dress that way.
That's very true.
All women are women, and it doesn't matter if they have a penis, and it doesn't matter if they have a beard, and it doesn't matter what clothes they wear. If they say they're a woman, aren't they?
Generally, yes.
And they need to be treated the same way that we treat all women, even if they were born in the wrong body, or in my case, have a gender fluid condition. When they say they're women, they are women.
I'm understanding more of where you're coming from now, the way that you're describing it all.
So you're saying that I can go in the females' change rooms?
I've told you many times that I can't actually say that.
No, I'm not asking. I know that you don't make the rules, but if the rules say that I can't go in there, they should be changed, shouldn't they? We need to get rid of transphobia.
Yeah, it would be good to get rid of transphobia.
And it would be good to get rid of the idea, the prejudice in some people's heads that I shouldn't be allowed to use the females' change room, shouldn't we? Should get rid of that prejudice, would you agree?
When people are identifying as female, you should be able to go there. But it's difficult when people don't understand and they don't see you the way that you are yourself.
It's very difficult. I just need you to say that I should be allowed to go in there, because then I would be at least affirmed by you. If you can say that I should be allowed to go in there, can you do that?
I find it very interesting that you particularly need me to say that as a stranger over the phone, to say that one thing when we've had this conversation about
Well, I need you to affirm me as a woman, because that's why I called up. I need people to affirm me as a woman, because of all the people who are saying that I'm not a woman. I need someone to affirm my gender.
Okay.
Sometimes it sounds like you're affirming my gender, and then other times it sounds like you're transphobic too. So which one are you? Do you affirm my gender as a woman? Do you affirm me as a woman when I identify as one? Or are you transphobic?
I think those are some very powerful language to be putting on me, Chris, to say stuff like that and to be saying, am I transphobic? It's a very black and white way to look at things, isn't it?
Well, either you affirm me as a woman or you're transphobic. It's a pretty black and white situation, really, isn't it?
Is it?
If you won't affirm me as a woman when I identify as a woman, then you...
I've already said multiple times throughout this conversation that when you are identifying as a woman, that you're a woman. I've said this multiple times throughout the conversation that we've had.
But then you say that when I identify as a woman, I am a woman, but then you won't say that when I identify as a woman, I should be allowed to use the females' change rooms. You won't say that, so that's why it doesn't sound like...
I haven't said that because I'm unable to give permission. I'm unable to give...
I'm not asking for your permission. I'm not asking for your permission. I'm just saying, should I or shouldn't I be allowed in? According to you, should I be allowed in there or shouldn't I?
I have already said multiple times that when presenting as a woman, that you should be able to use the women's change rooms. However, people will treat you differently if they're not seeing you the way that you see yourself.
Well, what do you mean by presenting as a woman? Because does that mean presenting in a feminine way? Because, I don't really present in a feminine way at all, but I identify as a woman.
Yes.
Well, it's when I identify as a woman, I should be allowed to use the women's change rooms. Do you agree?
And I agree that identifying as a woman. How would other people know that you're identifying as a woman while you were there?
Well, they shouldn't assume my gender. Like, you just have to take people's... I could tell the staff. Should I tell the staff?
Is it one particular place that you go that you've had issues with?
Well, I haven't tried going in there yet. I'm just wondering about whether I should or not. Like, I feel that I should, but I don't know if people support me.
Oh, okay. I think that people would misunderstand and wouldn't understand why you're there and wouldn't want you to get in trouble in that way.
But all the transphobia aside, do you think that I should be allowed to use the females' change rooms when I identify as a woman or not?
I've already said that, yes. When you're identifying as a woman, yes. However, other people may not understand.
I know that, there's transphobe. I have another question. When
We're coming right to the end of the time we have together today, so is it a short question?
There's a quick question. Should I be allowed to touch the girls when I go in? This is the females' change room.
To touch the girls while you're in there?
Yeah.
Why would you want to touch the girls while you're in there?
Because that's my real self. My real self wants to do that. It's my real self. Do I have a trans right to do that?
No, Chris, it's not okay to touch girls while you're in the change room. It's not okay to do that.
No, it's not okay to do that. At least we agree on that. But it's not okay for a man to go into the female change room under any circumstances. Any man who uses the female change room is a pedophile, and you know that. And this whole Q life thing is just a total joke. You work for the pedophiles. Get your act together. Clean yourself up.
Chris, I'm not going to sit here while you're going to abuse me like this, so I'm going to hang up.